Rescue 8, Truck 6, Truck 3, Battalion 3, and the on-call inspector. 2303 West 46th Street, number 208.
Welcome to Sioux Falls Fire. I'm Division Chief Luke Smith. On this episode, we're going to be working with Sioux Falls Fire, Sioux Falls Police Department, and Patient Care EMS as they go through a mass casualty drill together. We're going to work with the Sioux Falls Fire Rescue USAR team as they go into a big rig rescue of lifting semis off of vehicles. And then we'll go into the drone program, talk with one of Sioux Falls Fire Rescue's drone pilots and how we utilize drones on the fire scenes and in training. All this and more coming up on the next episode of Sioux Falls Fire.
Hi, my name is Patrick Duffy. I am a captain on Heavy Rescue 1. We run out of Central Fire Station downtown at 9th and Minnesota. And currently today we're out here practicing dive training. We have 12 members in the dive program. This is a program that we've been building from the ground up for the past couple years. And so now we're out here training at Colville Lake and getting reps in and getting trained to be ready to serve the public and meet the need when it's there. So today we got tenders working, we got multiple divers going in and out doing search patterns. So when we show up on scene, our goal as a department is to get a diver. We consider splashing a diver within 10 minutes of the call. So if someone's in need, we want to be on scene dressed, ready to go within 10 minutes to find that person. So we do search patterns so that we're not just free diving out there. So our communications with the divers, we have tethered divers, so we have a line tied to them for safety, and in that rope there's actually communications inside the rope, so we are able to communicate with the divers with a headset, personnel on shore. So when we do have a diver in the water, we will have 2 backup divers, and all of them are in communication with one another, so everyone can hear what's going on if anyone's in need and we need to send another diver in. Those backup divers, the second diver that's ready to go in, he's at 100% ready to go in to help. A lot of times you'll see him in the water waiting to respond if that first diver gets into trouble. And then that third diver would be a 90% diver. So he's ready without, all he needs to put on is his fins and get his mask on. So we consider him a 90% diver, and he's there to help as well. If that backup goes in, he then fills into that next 100% diver ready to go. And like I said, they are always communicating with each other. The guy on shore that has the headset on, he is listening to everything. He's directing the search, and he also is really talking with them, keeping them calm, making sure that they're in the right headspace, asking them questions. So we have constant accountability for all our divers. So Sioux Falls Fire Rescue has 12 divers currently, and we all have our own set of gear. So that gear travels with us from station to station if we get different assignments or if we're riding a different truck that day. So we're always prepared to show up on scene when the need arises. All the tanks and BCDs that the divers have will be on specific units that will meet at the scene, but all the divers will have their own dry suits, PFDs, everything they need, gloves, equipment they need to be able to go in and perform a rescue. We also will be having that with us on our day off as well, because we will be dispatched to respond to the scene if the need arises for a dive team. So any dive call, our goal is that majority of the divers are able to show up so that we're prepared, even if guys are on vacation that day, that others can respond from the city to meet the need.
Amy Marsh, and I am an EMS educator here at Sioux Falls Fire. Today we are out here at the PSC to do an exercise with all of our safety partners in the city. We are doing a multi-casualty incident where we have response from our Metro Communications, Sioux Falls Police Department, Sioux Falls Fire, and our Patient Care EMS, our ambulance service here in town. So we are out here to simulate an incident of 4 vehicles with 10 patients. And what we've been able to do today is utilize real patients for the training exercise. What we've been doing is we're simulating the activity of a multi-casualty, multi-injuries, making sure that our patients are taken care of immediately and as soon as possible, and then transported to the proper hospital. So what we've been able to do is that's called triage, And then we've been able to define, which patients should be the first to be transported. And then we're taking those patients and getting them to the facilities. We were also really lucky today to have members of both Avera and Sanford's Trauma Services out here with us. And they've been actually observing, helping us by giving us feedback and then information that they can take back to the hospitals again to make better care across the city. So out here today we have our law enforcement staff, and really when you think about how they're positioned across the city of Sioux Falls, a lot of times they're the first individuals that are on scene, and they're vital at giving information to our Metro Communications to draw a picture of what the scene looks like. And so today we were able to utilize the staff out here at the training center, our new graduates, giving them experience in real life situations. We've been able, like I said, to bring together all of our safety partners. This type of training is just so vital in the response across our city. And so we've been able to bring these guys together. They've been able to get this training where the only place else that they're going to be able to get it is on real calls. And we really want them to have some experiences as they hit the ground running and are able to take care of our communities. So we're able to bring them together, to work together, just like we would on a real call. Is just so important for the success of and patient care across our community. So typically these exercises, what we try to do is at least once every year or so, but what we've found and what we've determined as we've done these exercises, it's very important that we do this on a minimum of an annual basis. We've done tabletops in years past, but this year is really the first time we've been able to bring all 4 patient care and safety providers into the city and out here at our new public safety campus. So out here, as just as important as the actual training evolution and taking care of the patients in the training exercise, we bring all of the people that were part of the event back into a classroom type setting, and we do what's called a debriefing. And that debriefing allows us to really listen and hear what each other has seen, has done, what we could do better, and where are our opportunities to improve patient care.
Hi, this is Captain James Ram. I'm acting Battalion 3 today. We're out on the area of Cliff and Veterans Parkway. About a half-acre grass fire that popped up today. The first incoming unit was able to knock it down pretty quick. Kind of contained it to the mow areas, a little bit of the cattails, but it's all under control at this point in time. No traffic was interrupted, no structures were threatened. We responded with about 5 apparatus, and we're able to get it knocked out in probably about 10 minutes. So one of the things that concerns us with this time of year, as the temperatures start to cool down, things start to dry out, the wind's picking up, we have higher fire potential, so we just ask all residents to be cautious with any outdoor fires and be careful with cigarettes and lighters.
We're here with Dan Wagner. He is one of the captains for Sioux Falls Fire Rescue and one of the pilots in our drone program. So thanks for joining us, Dan.
You bet.
What is the purpose of Sioux Falls Fire Rescue having a drone program?
Well, a lot of fire departments now are starting to use them, try to use the technology. There's a lot of purposes. A couple of the main things we use them for, like a fire, is just to get an overall scene size up. So we can see what's going on, we can watch our personnel, we can see where the fire is at, where it's going. Basically just an overwatch for our incident commanders, just to keep our people safe and to help them make decisions.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. I see we have 2 different types of drones. Can you explain the different types we have here?
Sure. We've got, this one here is it's a Mavic 3, it's a DJI drone, and that's our primary drone we're going to be using for a structure fire, or we can use it for mapping, things like that. It will give us video feed, which has really good resolution, it's a great camera. Great zoom, which we use a lot, but it also has thermal, which comes in super handy for fire, obviously. So like the fire we had the other day up at Barney's there were some vehicles on fire, and there was also grass fires and trees. It was kind of spread out. So what this did is we were able to fly over, give the IC a great view of everything to see what's going on. And then one of the issues with that, there was so much smoke. There was tires, there was vehicles, a lot of black, heavy smoke, so you can't really tell where the fire is. Mm-hmm. So I flipped over to the thermal imaging, and we were able to see what was hot. We could see like the areas that were either on fire or vehicles that were extremely hot yet. So that was very beneficial for us.
That's awesome. That's a great transition into that fire. So when we fly these, about how high are you going above that fire to get a good perspective of what's going on?
Well, legally the max we can go is up to 400 feet to fly a drone. That's all governed by the FAA, so we have to follow their rules. So that fire was actually close to the airport, so we can only go 100 feet. So we've got to get approval prior to flying. It's all app-based now, so it's super easy, but it's one of the steps we have to do just to make sure we're checking our boxes and flying legally. So we checked that, so that area was 100, but the max we can go in general is 400 feet.
So with that, you have to get a license.
Yes.
How do you go through the process of getting certified to fly drones and learn all those rules and regulations?
Sure. The license is from the FAA, and it's FAA Part 107. And basically, we took an online course. That's what our guys had to do. You go through and they talk about different aspects. You know, you have to do weather requirements, visibility. There's airspace, which is by the airport, and just different flight characteristics, different rules, like what happens if you crash a drone, what happens if your drone crashes and hurts somebody, just different rules like that. And once you go through the course, you can take an exam. So the exam, I believe our guys, most of them went down to T. You have to go to an actual airport and take a test. And once you pass that test, you'll get issued a Part 107 license, which is a commercial drone license, which is what we all have to fly under.
How many pilots do we have on Sioux Falls Fire?
Currently, the fire department has 11 that are actually licensed pilots, and we've got 5 of them that are going through the process right now.
What's the process look like if a battalion chief calls and says he needs a drone, like on the fire the other day? What's that process look like to get the drones there and make sure that there's a pilot in place?
Sure. Well, right now, each battalion truck, which we have 2, we have a North and a South battalion, they each carry this same complement. So this is off Battalion 1, but Battalion 3 has this exact same setup, which is just 2 drones, and the battalions always go to a fire. They'll respond no matter what, they're in charge. So the drones get there automatically. So then all they have to do is request a pilot, and then we'll just meet them there. We'll either be on scene already, which I was at Barney's, or they'll request us and we'll come and then we'll just fly. So they'll just get on the radio or call Metro and just request us directly.
I see you have another drone here. We hit on this one. Can you explain this one a little bit more, and why does it have a mast that goes with it?
Sure. This one is, it's a Nevada, is the name of the drone. It's a DJI drone as well. It's one we use for interior operations. We can fly it outside, but the primary function we have is for going inside a building, say something we're not really sure if it's safe, if there's a structural issue or post-fire, and we don't want to send our guys in. This one we can fly inside. It's more designed for that. And the goggles here, this is actually just virtual reality. You can fly it off a tablet, but most of our guys will run it off virtual reality goggles, and it just on a joystick. It's pretty fun to fly. Gamers would be great at it. So it's a pretty neat little tool we have that we can use for, you know, a different variety of interior operations.
Awesome. Well, 2 really cool drones, really cool program that we have here. So thanks for taking the time and explaining the drone program to everyone out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Michael Olson, I'm a captain with Sioux Falls Fire Rescue, Rescue 4, A shift. Today we're working on large vehicle extrications where we're running an underride scenario in which a smaller vehicle is underneath the tractor of a semi-truck. And we're working on our step 5 process. Step 1 is going to be identify the load of the larger vehicle and the weight of the larger vehicle. Step 2 is going to be what we call stop the crush, which basically means we want that larger vehicle to stop crushing down on the smaller vehicle and the patients inside. That's going to require stabilization. We cover that from 6 sides, top, bottom, left, right, front, and back. Step 3, we're going to lower the smaller vehicle that's underneath. That's just basically take the suspension out of play. We don't want to lift the big vehicle and then that suspension give way on the smaller vehicle and raise up and waste our lift. Step 4 is raise the larger vehicle. We're going to use our hydrofusion struts or our partners with Ace Towing. Hopefully they get there before we get there, before we get to that lifting portion, and they can handle the lift. And then step 5, we're going to separate the lower vehicle and then begin the actual extrication of the patients out of that vehicle. We do this training at least once a year. We try to do it a couple times a year in station, but at least once a year we like to try to get out and do this. This is what we call a high risk, low frequency event, which basically, just like it sounds, this doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, it's a huge risk to the responders because of lifting such a large load up above, and then obviously with the patients below the large load of the semi. We have approximately, I would say about 60 guys trained across 3 shifts that can handle this kind of call. If we have a call like this, you're going to get
2 of our light rescues, so Rescue 8, Rescue 12, or Rescue 4, so you get 2 of those, and then as well as the heavy rescue coming out of downtown Central. We're also going to get at least 1 engine company coming to support us. It's going to be at least 4 units on scene, if not more, with a call like this. Anytime we run a call like this, all of our lifting and stabilization equipment has capabilities and working load limits. We have to stay within the working load limits of our equipment. So one of the first things we need to do on scene is do the math. We got to, step 1, identify the load and how much does it weigh. If we're outside of our working load limit, we have to figure out how to get inside that working load limit, whether that's add some more equipment or get some bigger equipment in there. We just have to figure out the math. So, you know, a lot of people think we're just coming in and just lifting right away. Nope, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes with someone sitting down, figuring out that math, figuring out our force multipliers, and figuring out what our equipment can actually handle in a situation like this.
Thanks for watching this episode of Sioux Falls Fire. We really appreciate you sticking around. If you'd like more information, visit siouxfalls.gov/fire. We'll see you next time.